Welcome everyone to the Let's Play Coke and Pepsi Spring Fest thing by Zenny of, keep forgetting the name of the site. SucksMakePeopleSexy.net. At 15 seconds, let's do this. Or 17-ish. So, today we are playing Zenny's very first, game ever, I guess. Or at least in his living memory, maybe? Dino Jr. in Canyon Capers, but I'm gonna call him Adam, because he reminds me of the Ghosts and Goblins guy, except I don't remember his actual name, except for the fact that it starts with an A, so I'm gonna go with Adam, because, I don't know, Adam and Jamie, I guess? I'm thinking of Mythbusters all of a sudden. Anyway, we are playing this game, which has no time limit, though I have a time limit of 15 minutes as usual, and, yeah. We're just kinda playing this simple little platformer for the DOS. For those of you who don't know what DOS is, you should be ashamed of yourselves. It is computer history, man. Anyway, jump over the spike ball, even though it's not very safe. Jump over the weird mice, mutant things, and also ketchup drops. But, yeah, we're playing this because he came up with 3 achievements for this game of DOS. The first is to talk about our very first video game and what it was about and stuff. So, my very first game that I can remember off the top of my head, which I swore up and down for many years that it was for the Super Nintendo, but apparently it's for the NES, is MC Kids. Or McKids, or that stupid McDonald's ripoff of Mario 3. But because I never played Mario 3, at least not when I was that young, I have very fond memories of that game. You know, I could have sworn it was a lot of fun, but I did just watch a review of Angry Video Game Nerd for it, so, and he said it was not that good. So, I guess I'll find out, because I planned to LP it one day, actually. Because I was reminded of it by this challenge. So, inspiration for future LPs, always a good thing. Because I was kind of running out. Though, I do have a good one for a side LP coming up. The thing is, though, that I'm not sure if that was, like, the very first thing I played, because my earliest memory of it was waking up late at night to play the thing when my parents were asleep. So, I was a very rebellious child, I guess. Well, not that rebellious, but, you know, enough to want to play video games at like 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm 6 years old. But, that's one of the very first things I remember, though. Another game I might have played maybe earlier, and I just don't remember it, because I do remember being kind of far in it by my first memory, is, Warcraft 2, actually. Also for the DOS. I might play that too one day, except for the fact that I can't get the sound to work. The music you're hearing right now is actually from the newest game released on the market. Technically, unless you count Soul Calibur 5, but why would you do that? Final Fantasy 13-2. I've been playing a bit of that one. Very interesting game. One of the other early games I remember, like my first PlayStation 1 game, which means not my very first game ever, but my very first PlayStation 1 game that I can think of was Final Fantasy VII, actually, and that's what got me into the whole series to begin with. I've since played, like, basically all of them, though I haven't beaten them all. The only ones I've beaten were, 1, 2, 4, I actually haven't beaten 5, I don't think. I swear I have, but nothing in my memory tells me that I've ever killed X-Death, so there's that. But, 1, 2, 4, 6 I know I've beaten. Kefka is a fun fight, by the way. Mostly because of the music. It's just so out there. And I love the, Black Mage's remix of it especially. But, how do you get that without falling and dying? Well, I suppose you could just, like, walk off the platform and stuff, but... Anyway, while I was talking about that, it looks like we have our very second I guess actually for me, achievement, which is in this bonus level, which happens every 5 levels, to grab all of the candy slash burgers slash lollipops slash lollipops are candy. What am I talking about? In the allotted time. So it's pretty simple, you know. And I'm pretty good at platformers, I'd like to think. So this challenge is no problem for me. Though it does not help when I forget to press the jump button in time. It does lag a little bit, so that's not helping anything, I'm sure. And the first time I actually recorded this game, I beat this thing with like 2 seconds to spare. But I was apparently using the wrong codec, or not me, but Camtasia was using the wrong codec since I installed a new one to be able to play H.264 format, which is the newest thing for anime now, because I had to use it to play Donball Senki and Persona 4. Yeah, it kind of messed everything up, and all of my videos were being like 9 gigabytes big. So, yeah, kind of eating up my space on my computer like nothing. But hopefully that's all, you know, fixed now, since I re-downloaded FFD Show, basically. Which is the codec that I use for these recordings, and the codec you should use if you do recordings of the video games, because it's a very nice lossless codec that I've used since basically I've had Camtasia 7. Maybe even before that when I was using Camtasia 6 and Spyro 2. I don't know. But, grab the jump. Okay, now grab the statue without dying. Oh! That was disappointing. Right at the freaking statue, man. Stupid love discs. Oh, and I got another achievement while I wasn't looking. Or while I wasn't paying attention to them. What are you waiting for? Which is to reach the second level, which is basically an easy achievement to get because you just get the achievement right before it and then you get this achievement right after that. Unless you fail at the first level somehow. Also, that little kissy fish there, he kind of hurts a lot. All the enemies, and then some, in this level of water, they're out to kill you. Even the bubbles. The bubbles do not like you at all, so try not to get near them. I would really love that heart before I die. That would be great. Okay. Now, contrary to what Rainiac thinks, you don't get invincibility from the heart. You get recovery, but you don't get invincibility. It may seem that way because you're recovering faster than you're getting hit, maybe, though it always seems to me that it's not actually doing that. Anyway, let's just jump over this guy, even though I have temporary invincibility whenever I start a level. That's what the flashing green they're not really flashing, they're just kind of spinning. But that's what those green stars are around you whenever you're doing this. Also, that thing reminds me a lot of a Dunsparce, only angry. A really angry Dunsparce. That would be the most terrifying thing in the world, even though Dunsparce is kind of a pathetic Pokemon. Yee! The Final Fantasy XIII-2 music is definitely the most interesting I've heard. Though one of the boss tracks I've heard recently, I believe on Disc 1. Why did I pick up that heart? That was a mistake. Oh well. I still finished the level without dying. But one of those tracks reminds me of another track in another game known as Blue Dragon for the Xbox 360. Anyone who's ever played that knows that the boss track in that game is probably one of the worst boss tracks in any RPG I have ever played. So, there's that. Little track called Eternity. I don't know who wrote it, but they just, I don't know what in the world they were doing. Trying to destroy RPG music, I guess, because, man, it's just kind of loud screamo crap. And I mean, I will admit, I like screamo music, mostly. Mostly Visual K, though, which is not screamo, it's Visual K. Which is, a very interesting genre of Japanese music that you should look up right now. What are you doing watching this? You have better things to do, like looking up Visual K music. But, yeah. Anyway, We just got this statue, so I think I've just finished Waterworld. No, there's one more. I am good at counting. Now the best thing to do here is to bolt straight for this guy, grab this before your invincibility wears out, and continue on. When I first played this, I actually forgot that gem completely, and so I had to go all the way back down, trying not to die to everything, and yeah, that was not very fun. But, well, you know, mistakes. Mistakes were made. Also, there's a platform here that you can't really see. And I finished this level way faster than the first time I played, so hey, there's that. And now we are at the second bonus level at 10-minute mark, instead of the 13-minute mark like last time. So, I was able to beat this with 12 seconds to spare. Let's see if I can do that again. Maybe even faster. I highly doubt that, though, because, you know, there's a certain limit to how fast you can move, and I think I hit that limit when I did that the first time. Oh, wait, I think I hear sound from the game. Either that, or the music is really weird. Well, I might beat it with less than 12. Let's see. 14... 13 seconds to spare. Oh man, a new record for me. Anyway. And now we have more radioactive mice, only they're green instead of gray now. These look like mice to me, so that's what I'm gonna call them. Anyway, we are at the third stage of the game, the mountain level. Apparently there are 5 or 6 worlds in this game, from what Fresno was told by Zenitoto. Zennies. I want to play Mega Man Battle Network, but I'll play that, you know, soon enough. After I beat Summon Night, and then after I beat a different game in between I want to do. Hopefully I can do it, because I need to be able to use the PlayStation 3 to play a PlayStation 1 game, basically. And, that didn't work out too well. These snakes are pretty fast, though they're not that dangerous. Also, I thought of a way to do this probably faster, probably slower, I have no idea. Though, missing the jump is definitely not going to do it faster. But instead of going across those platforms, you just hop under them by getting the statue and invincibility, so you can totally ignore the snake. And I completely ran out of breath with all of that I just said. Okay. Well, I got past the spider thing. They are really hard to dodge, so I'd pretend that they don't exist and just kind of go through them. Hey, I might get to the next level after this, because this is where my time ran out the first time. So, this stupid love disc thing is just murdering me. And that vulture is not very nice either. And yes, whoever said that vulture reminds them of that one in Looney Tunes or whatever it was, it reminds me of that too. A lot. I mean, just look at him. What was his name? Egbert something? It started with an E. I remember that. Well, let's go up Tree Town. This does kind of remind me, now that I say that, of the one town in Pokemon, I believe Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fortree. At least I think that's the game. It might have been Sinnoh, but I'm pretty sure it was Hoenn. I'm also kind of a Pokemon nerd, just so you know. And my favorites are the evolutions, of course. That is another game I did play kind of early, but at the same time, not really. Because the first Pokemon game I played was on my Game Boy Advance, when I found Pokemon Silver for $5 at a GameStop. So I'm like, dude, $5 for a Pokemon game. And Pokemon sounds really cool. And I was hooked ever since. Though I have never gotten a Pokemon to level 100 in any of the games I've ever played. Sadly enough. Well, I have an extra minute. Let's go through Boulder Town! This place, you know, it's kind of scary on the surface. And all over the place. And these boulders are going to murder me, and I'm going to have to use a continue. There's an elevator on the left side. What the heck? Can I ride that? Interesting. Yeah, I want to continue. You have to hit spacebar to continue, not enter. I don't know what enter did, but it did not hit continue. It also looks like we won't be able to finish this in the time limit, but I'm still gonna go through completion of this level because this game is awesome. As simple and, you know, happy and go-lucky as it is, even though there are very murderous animals all over the place. Man, just... yeah. This is starting to become very hard to dodge everything, so I'm just gonna not dodge. Oh, that's what that elevator's for. It lifts up the boulders from the bottom. Well, that's not very nice. A freaking elevator's trying to kill me. What is up with that? And now I get a heart, even though it's not too useful. Well, I guess it was useful there, but... and then we'll grab invincibility, and that'll be it. So that's all for this episode of the Let's Play Spurring Fest! Coke and Pepsi Challenge, hosted by Zenny of TalkToMakePeopleSexy.net. Join me next time when we hit through week 3, and also, I'm gonna be playing some Summon Night, a new side LP, and I'm also gonna upload Persona 3 today. So look forward to all of that, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, later guys.